Hey everyone, it's Shara from Shara Made Crochet, back for another video. In today's video, I wanted to show you what I've been working on with my Addi king size knitting machine, plus a WIP that I have been working on for the last week, just like a little update. But before we get started, I just wanted to say hi and welcome to everyone that's watching. I really appreciate you. There's a piece of fluff. I really appreciate that you're taking some time out of your day to listen to me ramble on about what I've been up to in my crafty life. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna go ahead and show you the one WIP first. So also before I get started, I am using a 6mm crochet hook, and the pattern is called Desert Dunes, I believe, by MJ's Off the Hook Crochet. It is a paid for pattern. However, she does have a tutorial, a video tutorial here on YouTube that's free. And I will leave both links in the description box down below. And the yarn I'm using is Lion Brand Pound of Love, and yeah, Pound of Love in the colorways Antique White and Cherry Red. And okay, so that is the bottom. So here we are. And so last time I was in the middle of this right here. I think I did like 10 or 12 rows, and then it's done in panels. So it's done with the white panel, then the mosaic panel, and it is done in mosaic crochet, and then like an overlay mosaic crochet, I think is what it's called, and then the white panel again. And then she doesn't have a border or anything for the blanket, so I did have to weave in all the ends. It did take me a couple of days. I had to get into a mindset where I wanted to do that. And that's just it. It's because it was on it was a mindset for me to get it done, that I did get it done. Otherwise, too many ends means that I won't finish it. But I really love it. And the only thing that I have a problem, like the only problem I have with this pattern is, for me, it's my gauge. I was under the impression I was making like a throw blanket, and this is turning out to be closer to a baby blanket size. So I'm going to do another mosaic panel and another white panel. So it'll be 2 mosaic and then I guess a total of 5 white panels. And then we'll see how it goes from there. I might still end up incorporating a double border or just a border in general because I'm weaving in my ends, so I don't need to encase them. And that's kind of, it's a little bit irritating for me in the sense that I still might have to do a border, but it is what it is. I'm not taking any of this stuff out. I'm too far in. I'll just create a border. It's not that big of a deal. So yeah, that is my one WIP that I've been working on, the little update. Hopefully I'll have a little bit more of my mosaic part done for next week, but we shall see. I am 36 weeks pregnant, for those of you who don't know, and I'm in full-on nesting mode. So I'm just kind of like all over the place with making sure that I have my hospital bag, and it's also why I'm breathing so heavily. It's because I'm constantly feeling like I'm out of breath. So yeah, and then just like cleaning the house in general. So yeah, I'm all over the place when it comes to it, and I can't seem to settle down long enough to actually crochet for long periods of time anymore. It happened last time when I was pregnant with my oldest. So anywho, that's where I'm at now. Okay, so then the next thing I'm going to show you are 3 scarves that I made. The first one is where I made boo-boos with my ends. But it's still a good scarf. It's just, you know, the only thing that I can do is learn from my mistakes. And this is the scarf that had the mistakes in it. So anyways, here it is. It's this one skein of yarn, Karen Simply Soft. I think it's like dark country blue or something like that, or teal. I don't know. I don't remember. I just found a yarn that I didn't want to have in my stash anymore, and I cranked it on my Addi knitting machine. I am still experimenting with length for these scarves. So this is a little bit closer to a child size scarf, or somebody who likes the smaller scarves, because they don't necessarily go very far down. At this point, it just covers my breasts. So, yeah. So anyways, let me tell you about the 2 boo-boos. So when you make this scarf, because you have to, because I'm doing it in a tubular fashion, I used scrap yarn for about 5 to 10 rows on either side of the scarf, in a contrasting color. So basically, like for this one, you would use like a white or a lighter purple, or, you know, pink, something that you could totally tell the difference between scrap yarn and working project yarn. And I took a needle and I whip stitched these stitches together. And this is the outcome. As you can see, it is not very visually appealing. I don't know what happened here. I'm probably going to cut it and make a knot and see if I can weave in the ends here. But yeah, on top of that, because it is whip stitched, you have to knot it on the side here, so that way it doesn't cinch after you're done whip stitching all the rows together, or the loose stitches together anyways. And after doing that, I decided I didn't want that look. I still, even though I'm going to probably give this to charity, I still want it to look nice for somebody. So the next thing I did was I took a 4.5mm crochet hook and I slip stitched them, but I did it kind of like in a zigzag formation, I guess you can say. So I slip stitched one, instead of slip stitching both of the stitches together, you do a zigzag. So you slip stitch one side, then you slip stitch the other side, then you slip stitch one side, then the other side. 1, 2, 1, 2. And here is the outcome. It's a lot neater. and it's really stretchy. And I don't know, for a scarf, I'm not into that, because what it'll do is it'll, as you can see, it'll create a funnel effect. And I don't like that. So for the other two scarves, they're both made using the same type of yarn. I was trying to make like a blanket or something out of these two, the other two that I'm going to show you, and then I decided against it because I actually really enjoy crocheting blankets. So I just didn't feel the need to do more panels. And it had been like a month since I had started working on the panels, and so I was just like, you know what, it's not a big deal. It doesn't have to be a blanket. I could turn it into a scarf. And so with this one, this was one skein, and it was 215 rounds on the Addi knitting machine. This one is 270, and I still think it's a little bit on the shorter side, but it's a little bit better. And so what I did with this one is I just slip stitched both sides together as one unit, kind of like how if you were trying to join any other thing together to create a seam. And so this is what the seam looks like, and it's a lot neater and less stretchy up top, and that's what I want because I don't want it to create that funnel effect. And then this is Hobby Lobby's. I love this yarn in a gradient colorway, but I have like a pastel gradient colorway. And it's very, very faint. Like I know that you can see it on camera, but it is definitely far more fainter in real life. So yeah, so I have, there's one. And, oh, here's two. And this one is far more noticeable. And these are done with 2 skeins of yarn. I think ideally I want to get between 300 and 325 rounds in on the Addi knitting machine, but we'll have to see. I roll up my project as I crank it out, so that way when it gets too long and it starts twisting, it doesn't A, stretch out the fabric, and B, tighten the stitches on my Addi, because if you have too tight of a stitch, you can't crank, and it actually, oh, it's the worst feeling in the world because it feels like I'm going to break my Addi if I leave it just like not rolled up. So yeah, I take measures to make sure that I don't have a lot of weight on my machine so that I don't break it. So those are my 3 scarves. I do plan on making more. This was just kind of like a recent discovery for me. I've been making hats night and day. And you'll see because I have like, I don't know how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Looks like about 17 hats ready to go. So yeah, I've been making hats. So let me show you the hats. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this is Lion Brand. I love, oh gosh, I keep doing that. Lion Brand Pound of Love in turquoise, I want to say. It's kind of hard for me to tell because I think I've had this yarn for like 8 years. It's been so long, and I'm not doing anything with it, but I wanted to do something with it. So this is the conclusion. And I don't remember what kind of yarn this is, but it's from Hobby Lobby. I think it's like Pearl ID or something like that. It is such a beautiful yarn to work with. The Addi loves it. I am really interested in actually trying to crochet or knit with it. But right now, I just want to use up some yarn. So this was the contrasting color that I bought specifically for it. Okay, so we have that. I do have a box, so I'm not just throwing it on the floor. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out of the way. And then I have a solid blue. I have a whole bunch of this blue yarn. I still have one more skein left over. I'm just gonna have to use it all up. I'll probably do that after I'm done editing these videos. So I have that. And then I have 1, 2, 3, I have 4. Just show you 2 at a time. So the reason why I didn't turn this into something bigger, like a blanket, it's kind of hard to see on camera, but this is actually a different, so it's the same brand. It's Big Twist Yarn from Joann's, but I bought this before they kind of rebranded, not rebranded, but like they remade their Big Twist Yarn into what it is now. And so this one was far softer than this one. This one is also a lot lighter than this one. So I couldn't really do that because the dye lots are so different, you can totally tell. So there's that. And then we have 2 more. And then what I did here was I had enough to reverse the colorway. So I have gray as the main color and then blue as the brim color. And I really like that. Gray is like my favorite go-to neutral color, especially when it comes to brighter colors like this. So I have that. And then I have 2 lilacs and some gray. And I have this, and I don't know if you can, on the camera it looks like it's black, but this is the Impeckables navy blue that I had, or that I had gotten from my last yarn haul video. So I have 2 of these. I have these 2 here. This is a little bit more magenta in real life. Like, I don't really know how to explain it. It's far more purple in real life than it is on screen. So there's that. And then the last one I'm going to show you is this one. I'm pretty sure that this is just Impeccable Black. And this is, I love this yarn in like ombre or gradient or something like that. I don't remember the colorway. I only had enough for a brim, so that's why I have it like that. And because it's ombre, when you reverse it, on one side has more pink, right? And then, so one side is more pink and the other side is more blue. And the gradient colorway. And I really, really like it because I'm really happy with how well it pops with the black. So yeah, that is my WIP update and what I've been working on with my Addi update. I'm back into the world of cranking out more hats. I found some yarn that I really wanted to use up in my stash, so I will be doing my absolute best to use them all up within the next day or two, so that, oof, baby, so that way I can eventually donate all the things that I've made with them. Right now they're all just single skeins of yarn, but I have the contrasting colors that I got from Michaels to help me along with them so that it's not just like turquoise or dark blue or something along those lines, or like a lime green. So anyways, I'm rambling now. Thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate you listening. And until next time, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.